Alright guys, welcome back to the Warriors Nation radio show. I'm one of your hosts, Patrick. We're here with
I'm RG, I'm one of your hosts.
And I'm Jack.
we got lots to talk about today. We're gonna start with the NFL. And yeah, we're gonna get it going. So week 5 review, we got Bears Commanders. What'd you think about that game?
Well, I had DJ Moore in fantasy, and I had Fields too. I benched Fields, but I started DJ Moore, and he got me 49 points, and I won. I won this week, right? Yeah. All right, bet. So, I mean, that got me going. I was pretty happy with the 3 touchdowns. But overall, I liked the way Fields looked. I liked the way the Bears looked offensively. It's just when you go up against a team that's not the Washington Commanders or not a team like that bad, you're not going to have the same level of success. So that's the issue with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Justin Fields, I still think, in my opinion, he's still young. I still see a future of him in the NFL. I don't know. I mean, I think the Bears just aren't that good of a team. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's facts. Like, we all know the Bears, they struggle everywhere. I mean, they don't have a good offensive line. They have an unexperienced quarterback. Their receivers are all right. They improved with DJ Moore, but the defense isn't even that good either. And then you have coaching concerns. So you have concerns really everywhere except the running game, and you have a potential quarterback, but you need to put the pieces around him.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
After what I saw from Justin Fields the other night, I think he's starting to get it together a little bit.
Yeah,
I think his confidence is going up because a lot of people were giving him hate how the season started, and I think he's gonna continue this for the next couple of weeks. Minnesota's defense is terrible. We'll get into that after, but I think he has another big week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if you put an offensive line around Justin Fields and you put the coaching around him, he's going to succeed. But you have to put those 2 things around him.
Absolutely.
You got him a wide receiver 1. They have a good running game. Their defense is fine, but the coaching questions are there, and the O-line can't protect him for more than 2 seconds. Yeah. So what do people expect out of him? We saw what happens when you put talent around him at Ohio State. You just need to do that in Chicago.
Yeah, he just has to go to a better team, but. As we move on to Jags and Bills, Jaguars beat the Bills in London.
I said before the season, and I told you guys this before the season started, I said the Jaguars will finish with the best record in the NFL because of the strength of schedule. And you know what? I want to change my opinion, but I'm not going to change my opinion. I'm going to stick to it.
I think they can go to the Super Bowl this year. I think they can get the top seed in the AFC for sure. Best in the NFL. I do like that take right now. I mean, obviously the Niners are undefeated. I don't see them losing. I mean, they're just rolling right now. But yeah, we'll see. That's not a bad take. AFC though, I'd say.
Let me say this: if the Jaguars can beat the Niners at home, and the Seahawks can beat the Niners, in Seattle, and the Niners still got to play the Eagles too. The Jaguars will have to get they have to basically win out, and maybe one more loss, but to get the best record, they basically have to win out. I think it's doable, but it's going to be very hard.
So what's your argument, that they're going to have the best record or that they're the best team?
I think they have the best record in NFL.
Okay, well they're 3-2 right now, right?
Yep, they're 3-2 right now.
So assuming they beat the Colts, assuming they can take care of everyone, except the 49ers are really the only tough thing you have on their schedule besides.
Who else they play?
The Bengals.
Where's the game?
They play the Bengals at home on prime time. They play the Browns in Cleveland the week after. They play the Ravens on prime time in Jacksonville. They play the Bucks. So it's not too difficult, but you got to take care of the 49ers at home, the Bengals at home, the Ravens at home, and then the Bucks and Browns on the road.
Yeah. It's going to be difficult to get the best record in NFL. I think it's doable. But, if the Niners and Eagles weren't so good, I don't think it'd be that hard. But in the AFC, I think they can easily get the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
I'm sticking to it. Miami and Buffalo are very good. I understand that. But Miami and Buffalo got to play each other twice. They're going to split. Buffalo took care of the first game, but Miami's winning the second game when they play, in my opinion.
I still think Miami's won the AFC East, in my opinion. I think that offense is just too dominant. And yeah, speaking of the AFC East, let's move on to the Saints. They blew out New England. Obviously, the Patriots. That's the season, guys. We're done.
At the same time I was depressed, but at the same time I was enjoying that. You know why? it just shows how bad Bill Belichick is as a GM. He is absolutely one of the worst GMs in the NFL. I want to say this right now, like he is like really bad.
Yeah,
His draft picks, you could have had DK Metcalf, AJ Brown,
Lamar Jackson. But no, he wanted N'Keal Harry. He wanted
to draft
Sony Michel.
N'Keal Harry. Sony Michel won a Super Bowl.
Sony Michel
I'm not
did win
gonna
a Super
give him,
Bowl,
like,
but
all
that wasn't the right draft pick.
Oh, it wasn't the right draft pick.
Long term.
No, 100%.
Yeah,
not.
no. I mean, look where you're at now.
Did he draft Malcolm Mitchell too over somebody?
He did draft Malcolm Mitchell, though. I think that was a good pick.
Yeah, but he had 1 year.
Injuries derailed his career.
I know it did. He was good, but
Yeah.
still. I'm saying you could have had AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, and Lamar Jackson on your team. You put those guys all on the same team. That's a Super Bowl contender.
Absolutely.
With the defense we have, come on.
And receivers are what he wanted. Like, it's just now you have the defense is good.
Yeah.
Credit to Bill and the Pats. The defense is good, but you have an average quarterback in year 3 with a horrible offensive line and horrible receivers and no run game. So what do you expect from him? All the hate goes towards Mac because he can't do anything. But it's sort of like a Justin Fields situation at this point. The Patriots are giving him no chance.
Like I said, if you put Mac Jones in a better situation, I guarantee you he's better. The
Yeah.
only guy in the offensive line with like experience is David Andrews.
That's it.
He's taking all the blame. It's not his fault.
That's it. That's all we have. And last thing about the NFL or about the Patriots right now, like, what do you do from here? I say
Tank. Tank.
But if you don't get a good quarterback, if you don't get a Caleb Williams type guy in this draft, then I say run it back with Mac Jones and load up the offense.
Yeah.
Just load up the offense, especially the offensive line.
Yeah, but even if you don't get Caleb Williams, I'd rather ever talk for a draft pick. You have $150 million in the offseason to spend. You sign T. Higgins,
Yep.
maybe a Marquise Brown, a
Go
guy like that.
all out for
And
those
then you
guys.
sign like
For sure.
maybe a couple of defensive players. And honestly, is Ramondre Stevenson the guy in New England as the running
No.
back?
I honestly.
I don't think he's the running back one in New England.
I think Zeke's better than him, and the last thing
I don't know
I'll
about
say is that the offensive line is horrendous.
Terrible.
I don't know. I think they should get maybe Caleb Williams out of the draft or whatever.
Yeah,
Potentially,
I
he's
want
probably going to
Caleb
go
Williams.
#1. But I don't know. We have to see.
Listen.
Bill Belichick isn't going to tank, so we'll have to
If
see.
yeah, that's true too.
You know what I
They're gonna probably sneak out a couple wins, end up as an average looking team with the defense, but we'll see.
And we'll move on to Week 6. Broncos Chiefs. Sunday. Wait, was that this?
Oh,
week?
that's Thursday
No,
night
yeah.
football.
Thursday night.
Thursday.
My
No,
fault.
you're good.
That's tonight.
I thought that was on Sunday though.
Can I
Shoot.
tell you something?
yeah.
There. I mean, Chiefs by 1,000,000, right?
No,
Yeah.
well, hold on. Like,
Okay.
if Kelsey doesn't play, he's questionable as of right now. If Kelsey doesn't play, that spread's not as easy as, like, people are saying. Like, -11, if Kelsey plays, it's a guarantee.
So
But
Kelsey,
he's questionable.
He's questionable.
He's questionable.
Is Taylor Swift gonna be there tonight?
I hope not, because this
Yeah.
is like so
I'm not even
annoying
trying-
in the NFL.
I don't even know if I'm gonna watch that game.
Dude, honestly,
No,
we
I am.
can talk
I might watch
we
it.
can talk about that for like 30 seconds. Honestly, like I'm just so sick of like the Taylor Swift thing. It's just like, can we just like focus on football? I don't really care if she's at the game or not.
The
It's
thing
just so
is-
annoying.
Yeah, but Kelsey doesn't like when Taylor Swift gets all the attention. Like,
I don't
she
know.
doesn't deserve all the attention.
I think this is
But it's
just a
his
PR
fault.
stunt.
It's his fault for like not really.
Exactly.
But like he is dating her. What do you think's
says
gonna
that.
happen? Right?
He says that, but now he's in a relationship with her, and he's the one responsible for all this.
Yeah,
So I'm sick of Travis Kelsey. I
I am too.
hope the Chiefs don't win anything this year.
All
But
right. So who are we taking in that game? I got the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs, and I'm
well,
taking minus.
Chiefs, obviously.
I don't know, because Russell Wilson, I mean, at least statistically,
so bad.
he's 11 touchdowns, 2 picks, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a few thousand yards or something. So I don't think Russ is really the problem here.
Russ isn't the problem
Like,
at all.
It's crazy. This is just a horrible situation. Who wants anything to do with the Broncos? They're wasting so much young talent.
You know what
too.
the sad thing is? They have the best corner in the NFL,
Yup.
Patrick Surtain.
They're wasting so
You
much young
wasted his
talent.
talent. Like, come
Patrick
on.
Surtain, they drafted Jerry Jeudy a few
Yeah.
years ago.
He's gonna get traded.
Yeah, they're ruining everyone. Cortland Sutton, just send him over somewhere else. But other
Yeah.
than that, Saints, Texans,
Saints.
I don't know.
That's a tough one because I don't know. CJ Stroud, he's not playing that bad.
I mean, the
honestly.
game's in Houston, but
Yeah.
I said this like for the season too. The Saints, they gotta win that division.
Bro,
Like with Kamara back too. Like honestly, after what they did to the Patriots, they could be due for a letdown. But I think they beat the Texans by a field goal.
Yeah, the expectation should be that they should be winning the division.
I would hope so.
Tampa, New Orleans,
Falcons.
both of them. Even the Falcons should be gunning for that division. But
Yeah.
Tampa and New Orleans, they even have expectations that they should win the division. Atlanta, they don't even have their situation at QB solved. They're gonna need to move on
Yo,
from Ritter.
imagine they get Caleb Williams.
Bro,
You put Caleb Williams on the
my
Falcons?
God, but they're
Oh
not
my!
going to.
No, I'm
They
saying
won't.
I'm just saying.
That would be ridiculous.
That would be insane.
Because you got a good coach there, and Arthur Smith too.
Yeah.
If he can use Kyle Pitts right, that's something he's got to
I would
figure
trade
out.
Kyle Pitts if I was them.
I mean, honestly, I do agree with what Jag was saying. I know the Saints, they do have Alvin Kamara and stuff, and they're pretty good. But I don't know. Is it at Houston?
It's at Houston.
I'm gonna take the Texans. Why not?
Yeah, and
Honestly.
the Saints are only minus 1.5 too. So
It's gonna be a close game. Might as
Yeah.
well just take the home team. CJ Stroud, I think he's gonna be good in the NFL.
CJ Stroud's been balling.
He has been balling,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he has been. I think he's been playing well.
A lot of hypes come with him. I mean, he's getting the recognition that he deserves after week 2, 3, 4, all those performances. But even after week 1, I watched the tape and I was saying he looks good. He looks comfortable. The arm, the accuracy, the mobility, the improvisation, it's all there.
Yeah.
And I think he's a franchise quarterback, future top 5, definitely top 10 quarterback.
Top 10.
But that's the type of
Exactly.
quarterback you need to win championships and win playoff games and have success in the NFL. You can't win with a guy like Dak Prescott. And
well,
you need
Dak
to,
Prescott's not a winner.
he's not good enough.
He
It's
is.
straight up.
He's not
I
a
think he's a
winner.
winner. I think he's
He's
not.
not a winner.
He's not a good enough quarterback.
He has no heart.
Yeah,
no heart at all.
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
sorry.
And
With
yeah,
that
well,
team, no excuse.
Well, last point.
And he looked horrible against the 49ers. And that just proves my point that you cannot win a Super Bowl with a guy like Dak Prescott as your quarterback.
Gotta
He's
be
not
honest,
good enough.
The 49ers, if they win at Jacksonville, at Seattle, and then the Eagles, they're going undefeated. They can actually go undefeated. They are the only team in the NFL who has a shot to go 20.
I don't think I disagree because every year, I mean, even last year, weren't they like 2-4 at some point?
Who?
The
They
49ers.
didn't have McCaffrey to
It doesn't. They always
I mean,
fall off.
if Purdy was-
somehow.
Kyle Shanahan's playbook, obviously, I love this. It's insane.
This team did not fall.
Now I have a
They
question.
dare not
I have a
fall.
question for you guys, and it's a little bit off topic. But if you put Mac Jones on the 49ers,
Oh.
would he be like Brock Purdy?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah, we saw him in.
No.
We saw the both of them in college. I mean, I'm not gonna say he'd be better than Brock Purdy
No,
because Purdy's.
No, he would not be.
He
better
wouldn't
than
be
Brock
better than
Purdy.
Brock Purdy, but I think they would be fine.
Well,
Would they be undefeated right now?
No, they
Yes,
would not be.
yes,
undefeated.
that's
I
the
don't know, they
thing.
would not be.
That's the
undefeated
tough
right now.
thing. They
They
haven't
would
had a
not be
hard
undefeated
schedule.
right now.
They haven't had a hard schedule at this point. I don't want to discredit Brock, but if you put Mac in that situation, I think it looks just as good.
No,
I
they're like
can
four-
confidently say that.
Okay, but they beat the Rams by 7 points in LA. I think you put Mac Jones on the 49ers. They're 4-1 right now.
Maybe, but Brock Purdy's doing an
He doesn't
exceptional
make any
job.
mistakes.
Yeah, exactly,
I don't think
but-
he has one interception.
But Mac didn't make mistakes in Alabama. You
I
surrounded
know
him with
that.
not
I
enough.
understand that, but like I'm taking Purdy over Jones. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, they embarrassed Dak. They proved my point. But the next thing I want to get into Seahawks Bengals.
Yes.
Bengals are favored by 3. It's minus 150 for them. It's a very close looking game. 2 very talented teams. I have both of these teams in my top, maybe even top 5 teams when they're fully loaded.
Yeah.
Not right now. I think the Seahawks are
Seahawks
a sneaky
might-
Super Bowl contender.
Such
Yeah.
a sneaky. Pete Carroll's doing a great job this
Yeah.
year.
Amazing job.
And we know what the Bengals are when healthy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it is in Cincy, correct?
It depends.
Uh,
In my opinion,
I don't
the
know who's
game
gonna win.
changer is T. Higgins. Is he going to play or is he going to be out?
Well,
Because Jamar Chase just can't do everything.
Yeah,
Witherspoon's a very good corner.
Mhm.
He's not going to let him get 200 yards.
That's true. And I mean,
So-
they got more than Witherspoon. Who they got? They got Tariq Woolen.
Yeah.
They got a lot of guys.
Jamal Adams, I think, got hurt again. So
Well, he'll be back. He's still on the roster. This roster is very talented.
they are.
And you think you have a quarterback who can get the job done.
Geno
And
Smith.
Geno Smith, he's that
Yeah.
guy. I
He
think,
is that guy.
Who knows? Depending on how the season goes, could he make an MVP case?
Potentially.
He's looking good so far, and they're 3-1 with an early bye.
They're-
So
They're a sweeper team.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna take the Bengals just because it's in Cincy.
I'll take the. Well,
It's gonna be tough.
if Joe Burrow can beat Joe Burrow.
and I expect him to. That's the thing.
But the injury still lingered with the calf.
Gotta be honest, like they didn't even do well against the Cardinals.
That's the
the
thing.
Seahawks are like a much more upgraded team than the Cardinals.
That's
I'm
the
taking
thing.
Seattle.
With the Burrow's calf injury, we don't know what we're gonna get. I'm gonna take Seattle too.
And yeah, as we go into the MVP candidates in the NFL, who are you liking? Obviously, Mahomes would be number one.
The
on that
MVP
list.
right now, in my opinion, I don't care about stats. I care about team success. I'm taking Brock Purdy as my MVP right now.
I'm taking Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes is just making his argument as the. No, he's not making his argument. Mahomes is the best player in the NFL. We've known that for years. He proved in the Super Bowl last year, all year last year without those receivers, and now look what he's doing with Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, and like a non-healthy Travis Kelce and Valdez.
Yes,
Scantling.
but the stats like for Mahomes.
I'm not worried about it. The defense
but-
is good, but outside of Mahomes on offense, nobody's
Who
really
have they
been
played? The
It
Chiefs.
doesn't-
Who have they played?
Okay, but who are the alternatives? Because Allen's 3-2.
Yeah.
Tua's. I mean, the stats are really good,
Yeah.
but I don't think Tua's the MVP.
I don't think he is either.
I think McCaffrey and Purdy both have arguments.
Yeah, well, they're not
Jared
gonna
Goff's
give it to a
been
running
great,
back.
but I don't know. Trevor Lawrence is going to
I don't
creep
even
into
think
that
Brock
argument.
Purdy has an interception this year.
I think.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Who
that's the
doesn't
thing.
have an interception?
Brock Purdy. I don't think
No,
he
I
can
don't
one
think he
pick this
does.
year.
Purdy and McCaffrey, I definitely like, but Mahomes is my MVP. Just
Yeah, but-
how he's carrying this team to a 4-1 record. He's been the best player in the NFL. Even when he had a bad game against New York, he closed it out by
I
just
know.
doing
Listen,
what he does.
Listen, I think he's the best player in the NFL, and I think he has a chance to be better than Brady. But I mean, Brock Purdy, the wins he got at the Rams, he beat the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football by 30 points. The Cowboys are not a bad team.
And that's a great defense.
Amazing defense. I don't even without Diggs, they're still an amazing defense.
I mean,
right?
I do agree with the Brock Purdy thing, but another thing I'm gonna say is obviously a quarterback wins pretty much every year, and it makes sense. But you can't not put Christian McCaffrey in that conversation. I mean, he's unbelievable. I wish running backs, wide receivers, and stuff would get more love. To be honest, I mean, I don't know. I understand a quarterback carries you to the playoffs and does everything for you, and it probably should be a quarterback every year, but. I don't know. I think they should get more love. I personally think Christian McCaffrey is number one in the MVP league. That's my opinion.
Listen, if this wasn't a quarterback award, I don't think Christian McCaffrey.
No, I would too. That's the problem, and I think it's a little annoying.
See, the reason why I don't have Mahomes on MVP, they beat the Jaguars 17-9. Okay, that's a quality win. Then you have the Bears. The Bears were playing really bad at that time. That was at home. They almost lost to the Jets without Aaron Rodgers at New York. And they barely beat the Vikings at Minnesota, who was very bad this year.
But look at it this way: if you watch the games, you will come out with the conclusion that Mahomes is the MVP. And if you look at the talent around him, it's not up to par of what you should be putting around Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but
in a 4-1 Super Bowl contender.
You know who's been playing phenomenal is Isaiah Pacheco. No
Yeah,
one's been
yeah,
talking about
He's on my fantasy
Correct.
team. He's been
He's been
rolling.
done doing
I was looking
amazing.
at trading for him. I'm not even gonna lie.
I don't
I
accept
was.
trades in
Alright,
fantasy.
I'm
I've
just
I've
saying,
been
he's
rolling.
been doing amazing.
I've been
Like,
rolling.
I mean, Mahomes, he makes everyone a bit better around him. I truly understand that. But the way I'm looking at this season so far, I think the 49ers have more quality wins. And Brock Purdy's stats are better than Mahomes right now. I think they are.
But who else, other than the 49ers players, because we're looking at the word most valuable player, and I know it doesn't always go like that, but that's the award.
Yep.
So, you look at the 49ers and they have 2 MVP candidates.
2 MVP candidates.
That kind of diminishes their value. Who else? Jalen Hurts.
That's it.
Jalen Hurts has been great. Josh Allen's been great. But Hurts has not been convincingly good.
No, I don't think Hurts is an MVP.
And then the other guys, they don't have the record for it. And then Jared Goff, you could put him in the argument, but you could put him in the conversation. It's just he's not the reason we're winning. They're winning, and we know that.
Oh, we know that, Jack.
All right,
Telling
so
you that.
before we move on, we'll give each other an MVP candidate, and then we'll give each other who do we think number one in the power rankings is. So I'll just go for Christian McCaffrey. He should be number one. That's my opinion.
Patrick Mahomes is my MVP.
I'm going Brock Purdy number one. I think he really deserves it.
Okay,
Year. So far.
And then for the power rankings for number one, I mean I have to go the Niners.
I'm going the Niners too.
If we're going by the power rankings right now, we're going with the 49ers. Let me give a top 5 real quick. I just want to do this really quick, and then we can move on. All right, I'm gonna go with the Niners. I'm gonna go with the Eagles number 2 because I think those are the 2 best teams in football in the same conference. All right, I'm going with the Jaguars number 3. They just beat the Bills. That's a very quality win. Okay, number 4, I'm gonna go with Miami, and number 5, I'm going with the Chiefs. And I only have the Chiefs in number 5 because I don't like they haven't really impressed me so far with all these wins they've been getting versus these like bottom 500 teams. They need to have like more quality wins for me to put them higher. That's just my personal opinion.
All right, and yeah, we'll move on to NCAA college football week 6 review. I mean, this was just a crazy week. I mean, I wasn't really watching too many games. It was obviously homecoming. I was tailgating, having a good time. But Oklahoma beat Texas. I brought my iPad to the tailgate, watched the end of that game. I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
I'm not shocked at all.
You are?
I'm not. Oklahoma's offense is amazing. They're always putting up points. Like, I mean, I said on the podcast that Texas probably won by a field goal, but I also said that Oklahoma can outscore them. If you can outscore Texas, you can basically outscore anyone in the country. That's number one.
Yeah. I mean,
and number two, like, I mean, them outscoring them obviously results in a win, but like, it shows they're legit.
Yeah, I mean,
they're no joke.
And I mean, I watched the game and just too many mistakes on the offensive end. Like they fumbled the ball a few times. Quinn Ewers, he threw an interception. I don't know. They didn't look like Texas football. I mean, shout out Oklahoma. I think they're in the top 4 now, or top 5. I think top 5. But that's crazy. I mean, Oklahoma. I didn't expect them. Dylan Gabriel, he put on a show. How about the game he had?
You know what? He is an underrated Heisman candidate.
He is.
He
for sure.
needs to be in the Heisman candidate conversation. He has not been mentioned. I haven't mentioned him at all.
No, I haven't either.
To be honest, I didn't know much about him until after the game.
But, I mean, I still think Texas can bounce back. They're not out of it. I think they'll be fine.
They have to win out.
Yeah, they're going to win out. You know what? So this is what's going to happen. There's going to be a rematch, Big 12 championship. It's going to be Oklahoma and Texas again. But Texas is going to beat them this time. That's my opinion.
I think they will.
It's going to be redemption, and that's going to be awesome. I think they're going to meet again. But as you move on, Alabama beat Texas A&M, RG. How about that? You know, Jalen Milroe, he had a game. I told you they were going to win. Is Alabama back? I don't know if they're back yet.
Well, let's not overreact.
Hey, they're trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
Don't not say that.
Well,
they are.
But this season, I mean, they could definitely maintain just their one loss and win out. But when you look at Alabama, just the program, they're not back. Jalen Milroe is not the guy.
No, he isn't.
I know he's played fine. I know he's come out with wins, but he's an interception waiting to happen. He can really only do special things with his legs. And I don't see who's coming in next. Like I don't see a Bryce Young
either.
I don't see a Tua. I don't see anyone like that. And they don't have the same talent that they used to all across the board. It's just that simple for me.
Yeah, but like the way I'm looking at their schedule right now, they have to play Arkansas this week. That's a win. They're gonna play Tennessee at home. I think they beat Tennessee this year. They're not losing to them again. Then they play LSU at home. That's gonna be a 50-50 game. I feel like at Kentucky, that's not an easy game. And then like they play like a non power school, and then they play at Auburn like.
So I think obviously the LSU game is going to be tough, and the Tennessee game might be a little. But if they can get through those games, I think they're going to win out and they go to the SEC championship to play Georgia. But hey, we'll have to see. I mean, Tennessee is still Tennessee. I mean, to be honest, I think they're going to win out. I don't know. I think they're going to hate it a lot. I think they can win out. Will they win the SEC championship? I think Georgia's still much better than them. That's the question.
Absolutely.
But if they get better, hey, you never know. But as we move on to Ohio State, Maryland, before you say anything, RG, yes, Ohio State smoked them, but it was a very, very close game for 3 quarters. I watched the highlights.
Yeah, that's 3 quarters.
It was back and forth. They had a chance to win. Maryland just made too many mistakes. Their offensive line just awful.
Listen, you get.
But it was a game. I will say it was a game.
Let me say this real quick.
Okay.
You give Ohio State 1 good quarter. That's better than like most of the teams in the country 4 quarters. That's how good Ohio State can be.
That's true.
They're dangerous. Like,
the talent they have.
I mean, they just have Marvin Harrison's a beast, and I don't. Just because, the way Michigan's been playing, I mean, this is going to be an unbelievable game. It's at Michigan. Right now, Ohio State could beat them. I don't know. I just think that they could. I think they could. That's going to be the game of the year, and obviously that's the game of the year every year, but oh my God, it's going to be an unbelievable game. Cannot wait for that.
I'm excited for that.
But we'll move on. Georgia smoked Kentucky. You see, I thought it was going to be a little close.
No.
Obviously, It wasn't. I mean, Georgia's offense, they had been struggling, but I watched the highlights. Oh my God, they put on a show. Carson Beck played unreal. They just torched this Kentucky defense, and Georgia's defense just played well again. So right now they are true number one right now. After that game last week, they look fine.
Yeah.
If they can play like that the rest of the season, they will win the championship again. It'll be the first team to three-peat, I believe.
Ever?
I don't know if it's ever. Anyone want to check that stat?
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone's ever three-peat. I don't think so, but I think they can do it. I don't know.
No Division I college football program has three-peated in over 80 years.
Wow.
So
I mean, I don't know. I think it can happen. I mean, Carson Beck looks good. We'll have to see.
Oh, okay. So Minnesota did over 80 years ago. They won 3 straight natties in 1934, 1935, 1936.
They weren't even wearing the helmets back then. They were wearing,
that's the dinosaur era. Come on.
Yeah.
But it was the dinosaur era. But Georgia's fine. And as we move on for our last day in their Week 6 review, Louisville beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame season's over. I'm a little shocked. I mean, to be honest, I don't know. I thought Sam Hartman was going to be the guy. But Notre Dame's offensive line is so bad. So bad. Their offensive line is awful.
After that game versus Ohio State, they couldn't bounce back from that loss. Like, that loss mentally drained them. Like, you messed up 2 plays in a row with 10 guys on the field, and they have not recovered since.
They
got lucky too.
They
got
should.
lucky.
We have to move on to Week 7 in a minute, but the last thing I'm going to say is they should have beat Ohio State. They should have.
Oh, 100%.
So they should only have 1 loss right now, and then they're still in contention. Right?
But then they just basically, one thing derails their season.
Yeah.
In a way that kind of shows you the mental state of that team. So maybe like always, Notre Dame is not legit.
Yeah, and as we move on to Week 7 of college football, Oregon at Washington, 3:30. It's on ABC. I don't know. This is gonna be a shootout.
Can I be honest?
Who you got?
I'm taking the home team. I'm taking Washington.
I'm taking Washington too.
I got Oregon to win the Pac-12. So
I don't know. This is a tough game.
This is so tough.
I'm gonna take Washington, and I think Penix basically not locks up the Heisman, but he puts himself as the first guy in the Heisman race.
I'm gonna take Washington as well. I think Michael Penix Jr. is gonna put on an absolute show on Saturday. It's at home. They're gonna show people why they have a chance to win the national championship or the Pac-12 this year. I mean, this offense is insane.
Well,
they're gonna beat Oregon. To be honest, I think Bo Nix is gonna throw a few interceptions too. I don't think he's gonna play well.
Really?
One thing I'm gonna say right now is USC is the most overrated college football team. They have no defense at all.
That's undeniable. And Caleb, he's like Mahomes. He excites everyone for what he's gonna do in the NFL and what he can do on the field. But we know deep down that USC team is not going anywhere.
Yeah, and
they're not making the college football playoffs.
No,
they're not finishing top.
And I didn't even mention that game last week. I completely forgot. But they looked awful. But as we move on to this week, USC versus Notre Dame. I mean, it's at Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame can beat them. They're not going to be in the playoff. Could you imagine they beat USC and they have 2 losses? They're not going to get in. They're gonna look at that Ohio. Then Marcus Freeman's gonna look back at that Ohio State game and be like, I should have had 10 guys on the field. It's crazy because I think they're gonna do it. I think Notre Dame's gonna beat them this week.
They're at home. Yeah, I got no chance.
And Caleb Williams. I mean, I don't know. They have an awful defense this year.
Oh, their defense is
who
so
was
good.
it? Was it Arizona State?
Arizona.
Arizona last year.
They should have beat them.
And I 100% agree with you. They're not making the college football playoff. They're no chance they're making it to the Pac-12. It's either Oregon or Washington. You know what? I think it's the winner of Oregon and Washington this week is going to win the Pac-12. My opinion.
Yeah, but
I think so.
I agree. I think they get a rematch again.
I think it's going to be a rematch.
I think it should be a rematch.
I don't know. Potentially, you don't know.
Utah's still there. You don't know what they're going to do.
They need Cam Rising back. What are they doing? They're waiting too long. Oh, yeah, he's been practicing. Oh, yeah, he's questionable. Play him. I'm sorry. You got to play him. I understand. But, if you want to maybe win the Pac-12 again or, get a chance at the college football playoff, you got to play him. Don't keep saying he's questionable every week.
I think Utah's better than USC. I think with Cam Rising, they're better than USC.
Yeah. And as we move on, Syracuse, Florida State. Florida State bumped back up to the number 4 in the AP poll this week after Texas lost. I'm gonna take Florida State because it's at home.
I got Florida State by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I got Florida State by 3 touchdowns.
So
2 touchdowns.
So the question is this Florida State's year to win the ACC?
Absolutely.
I think
gotta
they
be.
can. I think they
Absolutely.
They're gonna win.
They are winning the ACC
Yes.
with ease. After Riley Leonard injury at Duke, who is their competition?
Fact.
Well, you still got North Carolina and Louisville obviously beat. So Louisville is going to be the tough opponent, and I hope they mean the ACC championship. But
yeah, but
I think it's Florida State's year. You know, Jordan Travis, he's been struggling a little the past few weeks. You know, he looked pretty well at Clemson. I feel like he won them that game. To be honest, didn't look well at BC, but I don't know. I think they're gonna. They play Virginia Tech at home this week. He looks good. Virginia Tech's not good anyway, but he did look good. I think they're gonna beat Syracuse. Obviously, Syracuse only has 1 loss, but they got smoked by Clemson.
yes, but they play Duke,
So,
Virginia
yes.
Tech, the University of Miami, and I think they play
Yes.
at Florida. The only hard game I'm nervous about is at Florida.
Yeah, and you know Miami could be a game just because it's like they're both Florida teams. That
I guess.
But I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it last week.
Oh,
Miami.
I saw that.
So all Miami had to do,
Was nail
a
it.
minute left, 3rd down. They just had to kneel the ball down. You know, what's it called? Didn't have no timeouts. What they play? Georgia Tech had no timeouts.
Yep.
And they ran the ball, fumbled. Georgia Tech got the ball back. They scored. They just had to kneel. I mean, Mario Cristobal, what are you doing? I mean, it's ridiculous. They should be undefeated right now.
Reminder:
Horrendous.
This guy should not have a head coaching job.
No.
After what Justin Herbert's done in the NFL.
Yes.
Because the way he held Justin Herbert back at Oregon is absolutely unexplainable. The arm on that guy, the mobility of that guy, and just the overall talent of that guy, and you ran that offense around Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
How did this guy get the job at
It's
Miami?
Bad. Okay, you have to say a few years back they beat Ohio State at Ohio State, and they had 2 losses
Nothing
in the
comes
season.
out of
Are
it.
you serious?
Nothing comes out of
You
it.
should go undefeated if you win at Ohio State.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I mean that's
absolutely.
ridiculous. He's not a good coach. I don't think he should have got the Miami job either. But Oregon's looking fine right now.
Yeah.
So what's his name? Dan Lennon, is that his name? He's been doing a good
They're
job.
looking a lot better, that's for
Way
sure.
better.
And they had Justin Herbert, which is crazy to think about for me.
Yes.
Because look at what he's done in the NFL. You didn't do that with him in college?
Yeah, with the
Come
coach
on.
he has now, it's
Come on,
terrible.
they were running screen passes and handoffs every
yeah,
play.
but the coach he has now is not good. Stanley.
No, I know.
He's terrible.
I know,
He's
but
really
at least
bad.
he lets the talent open it up. He lets Herbert show who he is.
Yeah, but
We know in Oregon that was not the way you use
yeah,
Justin
but you
Herbert.
need Justin Herbert. You give him a better coach in the NFL, he has a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But, I mean, I don't know. He should have won a Heisman in college. That's kind of my point.
Yeah.
Like, he never got the chance to because of the coaching and what he had around him.
Yeah, and then speaking of Mario Cristobal, Miami's playing North Carolina this week. They're gonna get back-to-back losses. I mean, it's at North Carolina. Drake May looks insane,
He does.
and obviously we all picked Florida State to win the SEC, but don't count out North Carolina because that offense is insane.
I have
think
one-
they really
They don't have the defense, in my opinion.
They don't have the defense, and I think Florida State has the best defense in the ACC, in my opinion.
by far.
And I
I
have
think that's going to be the problem. But North Carolina, hey, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
I have one thing to say about North Carolina. The way Sam Howell's playing in the NFL, not perfect, but he's looking pretty good for what he is. What's Drake May going to be in the NFL? He's going to be pretty good. If Sam Howell's looking good, I mean, he's got a lot more talent than Howell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. And as we look into the Heisman rankings, Caleb Williams, so he's number 1 now in the Heisman rankings?
Yeah, he should be number 1 in the Heisman race. There's no question about it.
Now, the way their team has looked,
Yeah, but
in
that's
my
not,
opinion,
that's
I
not
don't-
his fault. How
no,
bad
I know,
defense
but I
is.
think Penix should be number 1.
You think?
That's just my opinion.
I think
don't
that's
know.
fair.
If he
that's
wins,
fair.
if he beats Oregon, I agree with you.
If he beats Oregon, you got to put him 1.
Yeah,
You got
I
to put
agree.
him 1.
And, Ewers and Nix and Travis, I think they've kind of worked themselves out of the conversation
Ewers,
for that number
honestly-
1.
Well, if Bo
Oh.
Nix wins this week, you gotta put him
Well,
up.
yeah,
and he
if-
plays a good game.
Absolutely.
But because Quinn Ewers lost, he's out of
And
the
he threw a
conversation.
pick, and
Yeah, he did
that's a big game you got to win. But Dylan Gabriel, he worked himself up. I mean, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Sam Hartman down.
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy, Colin McCord, I wouldn't really consider them legit Heisman candidates just because of they're winning. They're not the most ultra talented quarterbacks. They're winning in really good programs. But I'd say, depending on who wins this Washington-Oregon game, that's really gonna determine the narrative. But then you have Caleb Williams sitting there as well.
You also
Go ahead.
he also can't obviously JJ McCarthy hasn't played anyone yet, but if Michigan can beat Penn State at Penn State and beat Ohio State again, and he plays well, you can't not put him in the conversation. I mean, who knows? Same as Kyle McCord, he has to play Penn State, and if they beat them, so it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? And then obviously, Sam Hartman's out of it for sure. I mean, we were talking about Dylan Gabriel. He might be in it. So,
so what's Oklahoma's record right now?
They're undefeated.
Okay, so I mean...
But don't leave out JJ McCarthy, especially if he beats Penn State and Michigan again, and he wins the Big Ten. What are you gonna say?
Those are some tall tasks, though.
Yeah.
I was gonna point JJ McCarthy too, but he beat me to it, but that's fine.
No.
You're good.
No. Say what were you gonna say? We have time.
I agree 100%.
We have a minute.
You beat Ohio State and you beat Penn State. I think that deserves and he plays well. I think he deserves to be a top 5 candidate.
Now Drew Aller isn't on this list. But if he can beat Ohio State and he can beat Michigan, hey, put him on the list, man. I mean, I still think this Penn State team's legit. They could go undefeated. You never know. I think they're going to beat Michigan at home, lose to Ohio State on the road. That's my opinion.
One thing I want to say for the Heisman real quick before we change the subject. If Caleb Williams plays good at Notre Dame, that's going to be a big factor, too. Yes. If he throws 4 touchdowns and over 300 yards,
that's going to be huge.
That's going to be huge.
But it's so underwhelming, the defense, they're kind of
robbing. That's not his fault, though.
I know, that's the thing. That's a tough middle ground there. Is what do you value in the Heisman race? Do you value the stats and just the outstandingness of Caleb Williams? Or do you value the team success? And
I value team success.
That big Pac-12 win, is that bigger than what Caleb Williams is doing?
I think so. But...
Okay. Well.
And so the timer just went off. So that's the college football and NFL segment for today. We'll move on to the NBA. You guys take it. So.
Word. All right. RG. So what
I'll talk a little bit, but you guys.
When you look at the top 5 teams in each conference, I think. The Eastern Conference is much easier. You got the Bucks.
It's weak.
You got 6 teams that are in the top 5. It's just who do you leave out between the Bucks, Heat, Celtics, Sixers, Cavs, and Knicks? Who are you leaving out of the top 5?
Knicks. 100%.
I'm leaving out the Cavs.
What?
Yes.
The Cavs.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? The Knicks.
The
Knicks just beat. But that's pretty.
The Cavs got better though. They got Max Strus.
They got some pieces, but I just don't see how that fit's gonna last. That fit defensively, it's going to break down, I think, because you got Garland and Mitchell in the same defensive lineup. That's not ideal. Alone, that's not ideal. And then you got Mobley and Allen, which you got to figure out.
It's true.
Then you got to figure out switchability and versatility. I don't think this is going to work out long term.
LeVert's off the bench. I love carries LeVert off the bench.
But LeVert's not the problem. That's not the problem with them for me. The starting lineup's the problem. We saw they got taken on by New York in 6.
Yes, the spacing. When you put Jared Allen and Evan Mobley on the floor, the spacing gets limited because Jared Allen can't shoot. I mean, I understand where you're going, but did the Knicks really get that much better? They got Dante DiVincenzo.
Well, I don't even think it's about them getting better. They beat them. They beat them in 6. They took them out in 6. Brunson,
I know. But...
he's more comfortable with it. And then I think another team to look at is the 76ers. Are they gonna stay in that top 5? I'm not going to go as far as to even question the Miami Heat. But
don't question the Miami
Philadelphia,
Heat. Every year.
Because the Heat culture.
Even whatever seed they
get. Who else the Cavaliers have? They got Ricky Rubio, too. He's a veteran point guard.
They got some good players. They got Rubio.
So many guys.
They got Rubio. They got LeVert. They got Strus. They got guys to complement their big 4. But the big 4, as appearing, is that going to work? I don't see it working.
They have Isaac Oyeka, too.
Okoro is not a good shooter.
I know he's
he
not
can't
shoot. He can get defender.
Yeah, he's a good defender, and it's just I worry about that big 4. I'm not worried about the other 4
who they need to use a little bit. I don't know about this year, but in the future, Imani Bates. Yeah. I think he could be a good scorer in the NBA. The way the defense is played today, and And the way the offense has changed, I think he's going to be a very good scorer in the NBA. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, hopefully they can make him work. But
I hope they do too.
Talking about the Western Conference, I kind of put it together like this. You got your tier 1 of the Nuggets, Lakers, Suns, Warriors, Clippers, Grizzlies, and Kings.
Okay.
And then you got the T-Wolves, the Pelicans, the Thunder, the Mavs, the Jazz, and the Rockets. I think those 6 teams could make some noise and get into the playoffs, regardless of how it happens. OKC's got Shea, they've got Giddey, they're getting Holmgren back.
Yeah.
You know how talented the Pelicans and the Mavs are, the T-Wolves, and then the Jazz and Rockets are sleeper teams. And then you got the Spurs and the Blazers. But
Blazers are a sweeper team too.
So who do you think? Who are the Blazers?
Absolutely, they are.
I don't know,
In
man.
my personal
They're
opinion,
so
they're a super
young.
team.
They're so young.
Okay, they have Malcolm Brogdon as a veteran point guard.
He's getting shipped out somewhere.
If he doesn't get shipped out, I think he can help them out a
He's
little
not.
bit. Like
Because
I
they
think
got
he'll get traded,
Simons,
but
they got Scoot, they got Shaden Sharp. Those are the 3 guards you're gonna be.
I think so too.
Another.
But like,
I think if you can't get rid of Brogdon before the season starts, you're gonna just be having him sit on the bench, preserving his health and preserving his trade
I
value.
know that's true. But
But
they're gonna get something for Brogdon probably.
in the Western Conference, who do you think gets into the playoffs?
Who do
because-
I think gets in?
Yeah, I think the Nuggets, the Lakers, and the Suns.
Okay, the 6 teams we already know.
Yeah, all right. So the Nuggets, Lakers,
Yeah,
Suns,
yeah.
Warriors, Clippers, Grizzlies.
And Kings, they're all getting in.
Okay, so that's 7 teams, and then
They're all getting in.
okay, and then we could pick 3 more to get into the play-in, right? 8, 9, 10.
Alright, I'm gonna pick OKC. I'm gonna pick the Pelicans. And you know what? A lot of people are saying the T-Wolves are gonna be better this year. They had a better second half of the year. Like, you know, I was thinking about the Blazers, but you may have made a point. They are a little young. Like, I think they're gonna surprise some people a little bit. But
I think OKC gets in. I think OKC's a legit team. They got a superstar, top 10 player, and they've got a great core around him all of a sudden.
amazing core.
Yeah, and then the Pelicans, I don't believe in them to stay healthy. The T-Wolves, I don't believe in them regardless. I don't believe in the roster they've built. The Mavs, I think they're going to get in. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, and I think they've done a better job of surrounding that elite talent with something. And then I think the Rockets are going to make noise for that 10th seed.
I think they could.
Because
oh,
they got
100%.
so much talent surrounded with so much experience. They got Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, just to name 3. I mean, then you got Dylan Brooks. That's a good role player.
And then they got
and
Ime
Van
Udoka, the coach.
Ime Udoka,
Yeah,
the
but they got
coach.
Fred VanVleet too.
Complete.
I thought I said him that.
Oh,
Huh?
I don't know.
I might have not. But
Complete
regardless,
rebuild, yeah.
We're all
yeah.
thinking the
Crazy.
same thing. It's a quick turnaround, and I think they could make noise for that 10 seed. Who knows what they're going to do? Jalen Green's going to really need to take that step, though. I think Jalen Green needs to average an efficient 25 within 2 years.
Yeah, but Kevin Porter Jr. That was
That's a rough loss, but
Rough loss,
I'm not even going to get
yeah.
into that. I've always been concerned about his problems off the court. But regardless, I mean, they still got a good core. They got Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, they
Can I
got
be honest?
Dylan Brooks.
Like the only team I'm really confident in getting the play-in, like the 8 seed, is OKC. 9 and 10's wide open in the West. Any of those teams can make it.
Just to run it back with the Rockets real quick, Jabari Smith. He could be an all-star. I mean, the way he just played in summer league or preseason, whatever it was, and we know what he did in college, and he looked good at some points last year, even though he came in with some struggles.
Like the West is so hard.
It is.
Like
it's
I
tough.
can't predict who's your. Well, you're gonna give me 10 games into the season before I make a prediction.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Like
to see.
OKC is I'm taking them at 8, but 9 and 10. The Rockets, I think the Blazers can even get in. The Mavs, the Pelicans, those 4 teams, I think any of them can get in at the 9 and 10. I'm really confident by saying that.
I completely agree.
Like
It's gonna
Robert Williams and DeAndre Ayton running pick and roll
Yeah.
with Scoot Henderson.
You're
Like,
right.
are you kidding me? You know how many alley-oops they're gonna get those
Yeah.
2 guys?
You're right. I would put the Blazers in that tier above, and then the Spurs.
No,
The Spurs are
they're not ready
looking
yet.
rough. Yeah, they got to surround Victor with some talent.
Oh, they're gonna be very good.
They
in
got
3 years.
Keldon Johnson at least. I think
I love
that's a good guy.
Keldon Johnson.
And then, they got some pieces, but they're obviously not trying to win this year. Turn Victor Wembanyama into a decoy candidate as soon as you can, and just surround him offensively. I think that's the best way you can do it.
All right.
Add some talent
Any
offensively.
2 last takes? Because we forgot to add this, but we have Merrimack hockey. We'll get into that for like 3 minutes. But any last takes?
Nah, I just-
I wanna. Well,
we can say one more thing.
We have like. Alright, we have one more time. I feel like.
I just want to say
Yeah.
Tatum's winning MVP.
All right, you can say.
You know what? You know what? I picked for MVP. I would pick as a sweeper. I had enough people picking favorites. I would pick Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
That's
Well,
a great
I
pick.
can't. You know why I can't pick him? Because the NBA goes by team success.
Exactly. And the
And I
Western
can't even
Conference.
pick him.
The Western Conference is way too loaded, but we'll get into
Oh.
the MVP conversation
And
next week.
but no, yeah, I could just completely forgot. Obviously, Merrimack hockey tomorrow. They open up at Arizona State.
We got some very, very bad news today.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if you two heard.
Yes.
Alex Jeffries is getting an MRI in his hip. How
Is
is
he out for the season?
Nope, it's minor.
Okay. Oh well, that's
But he's missing these 2 games.
all right. Well, definitely good to hear that it's minor because that would be
Yeah.
that would be brutal.
Yeah.
Our season will be over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But as we look at we're going into Ohio State, Arizona State, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, their first year in Division One. That's kind of cool. It's a brand new rink they get to play at.
Mhm.
But all the hype around Arizona State sweep. We're sweeping them. I'm sorry. We're doing it.
I agree.
We're
doing it.
sweeping them. Well,
We're
Alex
sweeping them.
Jeffries.
Yes. Oh, it's Arizona State. Come on, man. Okay. Might be a potential split.
I
Just
said
'cause
what?
it's-
I said.
Just because it's the beginning
Yeah,
of the
but-
season, but I think they're going to sweep them. I do.
First of all, it's the first 2 games into the
I know.
season. We're 3 hours behind on time. You have to adjust to that.
I think it's at 10 p.m. actually. The game starts at 10 p.m.
Eastern
because-
time. Eastern
Tomorrow?
Yeah, Eastern
Yeah,
time.
they're in the
it
West
starts.
Coast.
It starts. Would
7
it be
o'clock.
7?
Yeah. So
And I was trying to find the stream. I think it's on Pac-12 Network or something.
I mean,
Or Arizona State live stream. I don't
they
know.
put, you know
Somebody.
the Arizona Coyotes play in that arena.
Do they?
Yep, they play in that arena. I don't know.
I
If you
thought,
knew that.
Brutal.
no. This is
Brutal.
a brand new
Arizona
facility.
State?
Arizona
Yeah,
State is
and
a
that-
brand
It's new
new
now?
rink.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
the Coyotes are playing there.
I think
Oh,
that was
are
a
they?
play
I didn't
there,
know
yeah.
that. That's
Unless
sick.
they changed it.
I don't think it's sick. I think it's embarrassing.
No,
for
no,
the
no.
Coyotes.
For Arizona
No.
State is sick.
No, that's what I was saying.
It's
I
embarrassing for the
swear that
Coyotes.
Arizona State made a brand new rink.
They did. Arizona. All right, so February 10th,
Yes.
2022. This was a year and a half ago.
Alright.
That's something to know. Arizona Coyotes to temporarily play at Arizona State Arena starting in 22-23 season. Okay, so that's over with. All right, Coyotes.
So,
Yeah, I think it's over with.
all right.
Okay.
That's pretty cool for Arizona State, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna have a good season. I will also say, I mean, I'm changing subjects a little bit, but so women's volleyball has 2 losses in conference. I'm obviously I broadcast them, like I said last week. So if they win the conference, the tournament is being hosted. It's hosted at the winner. So wouldn't that be awesome? Like I believe I would be like broadcasting the conference tournament.
That'd be
wouldn't
sick,
that be
dude.
sick?
That'd be
That'd be
awesome.
That would be cool, bro.
So I'm hoping they're Sacred Heart's undefeated right now in the
Yep.
conference. They have and Merrimack has 2 losses. But hey, I mean they've been playing well. So my next game is the 27th at home. So I mean I was keep watching them and stuff. They just lost to New Hampshire, but that wasn't conference.
Yeah.
So. I think they'll be okay, but that would be awesome. I was like, imagine I get to do like a conference tournament.
that'd be insane.
But yeah, I'm pulling for them. They're doing good this season, especially in conference.
Yeah.
So
Can I
Sure.
say one more thing? Like, I get
Yeah.
off topic for one more thing about NBA.
Yep.
I just want to say one thing about NBA, and I said, this team, no one's been talking about them. I think they're the most underrated team in the NBA. The Indiana Pacers will make the NBA playoffs this year.
With Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner,
Buddy Hill,
Buddy Hield's a good piece, but you could
Bruce
look for
Brown.
him to be traded. Bruce
Bruce
Brown's
Brown.
a good guy to bring
Miles
in.
Turner.
I don't know.
I-
They don't have enough star power. They have Tyrese, and that's it.
You know how good Tyrese is?
He's not putting up 25 a game.
I think he could.
He's a great player, but you
He's
need
an
another
amazing
star
player.
around him.
He has a lot of good role players around him.
No, you
but
need another star on him.
to win a championship. I said to make the playoffs.
Okay, that's fair, but
I said to make the playoffs. Here.
Okay,
The
that's
East is
fair.
weak.
that's fair. And then,
Who's
real quick,
yeah, before we go in the MLB, because we have like a minute left on the timer. We still have 5
No, we
minutes.
have 5 minutes left.
So just the Merrimack hockey game. Merrimack hockey will sweep Arizona State. What do you think?
Split.
yeah,
Split.
Split?
I think we're better.
I think they will. We
I think
will sweep.
But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, and we'll move on to the MLB.
Yep.
So
This is something I want to get.
this is big. Braves Phillies game 4 tonight. It's over.
Let me tell you something.
It's over.
Citizens Bank Park. That atmosphere, man, like that's insane.
But
Like, what I've been watching, like
yeah,
those fans are crazy. You like
yeah.
if
No, they are.
if the
They
Phillies
are.
get going early, the game's over. The Braves got to start off the first inning and get a couple runs.
They
or like
hit
1 run.
5 home runs yesterday. Harper had 2. Harper hit one in the top deck. It was absolutely roped. Oh my
He
god,
deserves a ring.
smoked that.
I'm rooting for him to win the
No,
World Series.
it does annoy me a little bit because I understand like the announcers have to say, oh, there's nothing like this. This is like the best ballpark for fans. But hey, don't leave out Fenway. Don't leave out Fenway during
can
a
get out
playoff
there.
game because that place can get loud. And I know we're being biased because we're Red Sox fans, but hey,
It can get loud.
Fenway for a playoff game, there is nothing like it. Everyone is standing. I feel like too. Like
Yeah.
everyone. There's not one person who's sitting down.
Nope.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last playoff game I was actually at ALDS when Vasquez hit that walk-off. I was at
against
that
Tampa?
game. Yeah, I was there.
That was
Yeah,
sick.
the place was going wild. That was awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into it. Braves, Phillies, who you got? I mean, I think the Phillies close it out tonight.
I think the Phillies go
Just because it's at home.
They're at home.
And they did what they had to do. They had to win 1 game in Atlanta. That's all they had to do. And I think it's over. I do.
Yep. On to the next. We get the ALCS preview. Astros and Rangers. I think this is going 7 games.
Yeah.
I really don't like the Astros.
We obviously.
I really don't.
Obviously, everyone hates
And
the
you
Astros.
know what? The Rangers are gonna have Scherzer coming back. You have Scherzer, Evaldi, Montgomery. I'm taking the Rangers in 7.
I think the Rangers are going to win this series
In
too.
7.
I really do.
I mean, Astros, obviously nobody wants them to win.
Oh hell no.
Yeah,
I'm going
everyone
Rangers.
hates
I don't want that.
But I mean, how about the Diamondbacks though? Swept the Dodgers. I mean, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
They can make some noise. They can get Philly a series or the Braves.
I think they could too. But I mean, a Rangers Philly World Series would be good. I mean, I do want the Phillies to make it back. I mean, but it would be also cool if the Diamondbacks made it too. So,
You know what would be really
Wow.
cool? If we got a rematch of the Astros and Phillies.
That'd be-
That would be something for baseball.
Yeah.
I don't want
Ast-
that to happen. but
Astros Phillies.
They last year. They
Who
won
won
each
last
other.
year? The Astros.
Astros won
Okay.
6. Yep.
Oh, that's right. That was
Yep.
the World
The Phillies
Series.
had 2
We
games
were
to
in here
one
for
lead.
it.
No.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
here for it.
I forgot about
2
that.
games to 1
Yeah.
lead the Phillies had.
No, I know.
Yeah.
You're right. I thought they played another team. I
Nah.
knew the Phillies made the World Series, but
Right.
wait. So the Braves didn't win it last year. No.
Nope.
No.
Braves
It was
won
the
in
Astros.
That
2021.
was 2 years ago. or
You're
3
right.
That
years
was
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Okay, yeah, I remember they were really
2021.
good. Acuna was good. Wait,
Yeah.
really quick. Any other MLB things we want to get into? I want to go over my NFL top 5 teams real quick.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
think I'm going with MLB to be honest.
Okay, word. All right,
And then
so
we'll go NHL quickly.
my top 5 teams. I got the 49ers at 1 just because they're so dominant, coaching, everything, offense, defense, top to bottom.
Yeah, we already got them.
The Chiefs, I got them at 2 because Mahomes. We know what he's going to do. And Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. The defense is looking good too. The running game's looking good too. The passing game's going to fall into place. The Chiefs are fine. The Eagles at 3. I mean, they look great, but they don't look perfect. That's my only knock at them, to be honest. They look like last year's team, just a little worse. The Dolphins at 4 and the Seahawks at 5. Dolphins are only at 4 because I worry about Tua. In the Seahawks at 5. Lions could be there too, but I'm putting the
Seahawks at
Seahawks because
5.
they got Geno Smith.
All right.
They had a bye, so there's not a lot of talk about them, but I'm putting them over the Lions.
All right, quickly, top 5.
I already gave my top 5.
All right, I think I did too.
All
All right,
right.
well, talk about NHL for a minute. Connor Bedard scored his first goal
bro.
last night. That was pretty
I was
sick.
on the live stream.
That was awesome.
with Marcuzzi.
Really?
I was on the live stream.
Shout
and
out
I was
Marcus.
like, yes,
Yeah.
let's go, Bedard.
No, I mean, I think he's gonna be a star. I don't know. I
Oh,
just
yeah.
I like watching him play, man.
He's good.
That was a
And-
sick pass that he made to
Yeah.
Donato before that goal.
pass was beautiful, but we know
Yeah.
he's gonna be great. It's cool that he got his first goal
Yeah.
in the team.
But I mean,
Garden
how
in
about
Boston.
that line though? Taylor Hall, Connor Bedard, and Ryan
Yeah.
Donato. How about
That's
Well,
a scary line.
that's
And
awesome.
they
Yeah, but
still, it's a
I'd rather
Boston
him
line.
be on a line with
Yeah.
some younger guys, though.
For sure, yeah.
All right.
Well, I disagree there. I disagree
disagree?
because you put Hall, the former
Yeah,
MVP,
veteran,
and his
but, like,
experience around him.
I got it.
like
Sure,
it.
for sure. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Merrimack hockey will sweep Arizona State.
I
will
hope
say
they
that.
do. I
Let's
hope
go.
you're right,
So
man.
let's go. Let's go Merrimack hockey this weekend. So
Sure.
here we go. All right.
Thank you
Have a
guys
good
for
weekend,
watching.
guys.
Peace out.
Peace.